Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back one and all of you to part 16 of our 30-band Royal Rumble extravaganza. Now that we are beyond the halfway point in this Rumble, it's time, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome act number 16 onto the stage. So, if everyone's ready, let's get this party started with 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, activate. Actually, just gotta make sure. There we go.
Home again, I won the war, and now I am behind your door. I tried so hard to obey the law and see the meaning of this all. Remember me before the war, I'm the man who lived next door. Long ago, as you can see, when you look at me, I'm pieces of what I used to be. It's easier when you don't see me standing on my own 2 feet. I'm taller when I sit here still. You ask are all my dreams fulfilled. They make me heart of steel, the kind them bullets cannot see. Nothing's what it seems to be. I'm a replica. Empty shell inside of me. I hurt myself. I'm a replica of me. The light is green, my slate is clean. The light to fill the hole in me. I had no name last December, Christmas Eve, I can't remember. I was in the constant pain. I saw your shadow in the rain. I painted all your pictures red. I wish I had stayed home instead. Yeah, nothing's what it seems to be. I'm a replica, I'm a replica. Empty shell inside of me. I'm not myself, I'm a replica of me. Are you gonna leave me now when it is all over? Are you gonna leave me? Is my world now over? Rising from the place of peace, trying to keep my home ways clean. Now I'm here and walk the path to believe. I fall asleep and dream a dream. I'm floating in the silent stream. No one placing blame on me. But nothing's what it seems to be. Nothing's what it seems to be. I'm a replica, I'm a replica. Empty shell inside of me. I'm not myself, I'm a replica. Nothing's what it seems to be. I'm a replica. Empty shell inside of me. I'm a replica. Nothing's what it seems to be. I'm a replica. tried so hard to obey the law and see the meaning of it all. Remember me before the war, I'm the man who lived.
Whew. Well. That's certainly a way to kick off any good old Thursday morning. You okay, ladies and gentlemen? That was Replica by Sonic to Arctica. And I don't quite remember exactly when on earth we last did Sonic to Arctica, but it feels like whenever I return to Sonata, the first thing I notice above just about everything else is that it feels like something that... It feels like I've never left. It feels like I could just turn it on immediately and it would still be there. And it's very relevant in the very beginning of the song. I'm home again. I won the war, and now I'm behind your door. I tried so hard to obey the law and see the meaning of this all. I imagine that I'm home again. This dude's just come back from war, and now it's like a pre-meditative existential crisis. He's beginning to realize, well, he's fought and he's survived, which is any victory by any means, and now he's back, and now he's beginning to realize exactly if this was for anything. Remember me before the war? I'm the man who lived next door long ago, and all of a sudden the world he's returned to is just nothing like the world he's returned to. He is the embodiment of a disposable hero. He is a replica of his former self. He might be there in person, or maybe he's there in spirit, or maybe he's not there at all. As you can see when you look at me, I'm pieces of what I used to be. It's easier when you don't see me standing on my own 2 feet. I'm taller when I sit here still. You ask, are my dreams fulfilled? They made me heart of steel, the kind them bullets cannot see. Yeah. Jesus, just empty shell, possibly shell-shocked. And he is... I know I may have mentioned this before in a previous video for this month, but I mentioned a lot of Wilfred Owen's poetry about the futility of war and the general con of the 20th century that was the First World War, when millions of very young individuals and probably people who were picked out for their body types and all that were drawn in to basically murder one another. I was in constant pain. I saw your shadow in the rain. I painted all your pictures red. I wish I had stayed home instead. Yeah. Every single time he says yeah, it's sort of like, yeah. As in, does he think everything he did was futile, or does he realize that he should have stayed home instead? Are you gonna leave me now when it is all over? Are you gonna leave me? Is my world now over? Anything everlasting, anything he left before the war is now starting to leave him, much in the same way he may have left his home and his family to join the war. Rising from the place I've been, trying to keep my home plate clean. Now I'm here and I won't go back, believe. It's just, he is absolute. It's devastating. This is, and I know I've talked a lot about, when I talked about Disposable Heroes, about the futility, and when you really have to begin to consider about what exactly war involves. It involves mostly young men killing one another. But this, it almost gives light to the fact that those who've survived, those who are home, those who survived not being killed in battle, like in Passchendaele or the Somme or anything like that, it's actually the nightmare, the fact that you've got to live with the fact with what you've seen. Not necessarily what you've done, but what you've seen and what you've experienced. And now he's returned to a world in which he can't quite believe this is the same place. He can't believe he is the same person, because he doesn't seem to think he's the same person. He's a replica of himself, as it so rightly states. And you know what? Despite all of this, despite all of that, I'm the man who lived. He did live. You can't say he didn't. But do you reckon it was worth him living? Do you think it was worth everything he had to go through just to return to exactly where he was again? The man who lived, eh? It's not like as in the guy in Sonata is particularly an exceptional case, because there are plenty of people who live. There are men and women who live. There are children who live during war. But when war is said and done, you begin to realize that, well, maybe you do see clearly about what the whole point of it was, but you're wondering whether or not it could be sorted without any casualties whatever. And again, you have to remember is that a bomb dropping in a crowded street will cause quite a lot more suffering than 24 political persecutions. And I've said this again, and I know it sounds so basic, but I hardly see why by slaughtering millions of innocent men, women and children is going to bring victory any nearer. You know, solve problems using your words, kind of like what I do. Try and do a different approach instead of trying to knock somebody out. Maybe if we tried doing that, maybe, just maybe, we will all not just be men who lived. We'll become men who are alive again, and not just hollow shells of our former selves. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this reaction video. Please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below, and let me know what you guys thought of Replica by Sonata Arctica. Please also make sure to also like and subscribe to get daily notifications of my videos come out. And I hope to see all of you guys again in the next reaction video. Take care. Bye-bye for now.